Well, it looked like an upset was on the cards for Carlton Mid Derby number 38, with West Coast pushing crosstown rivals Fremantle to the limit for the first three action-packed quarters, but the class and personnel of the top four Dockers lineup prevailed in the final 30 minutes. I'm Steve Bandy. This is Swan District superstar Tom Roach. How do you see the game play out?
Superstar. Don't know about that. But anyway, yes, I thought it was a good game of football. We had a real crack. And look, no one really gave us a chance, Thumper. But for the first three quarters, we were all over Freo. Tackle pressure, skills were there. We had a lot of young players in the side. And that did tell in the last quarter. We were a bit tired. And the Dockers, with their experience, they're a top four side, don't forget, got over the line. So, yeah, good effort. But, better luck next time.
Hats off to our two latest debutants, with injuries opening up the doors all around the ground. Young defender Adam Carter and ex-Demon midfielder Cale Morton given the nod, the opportunity to play their debut in a derby, the biggest stage of WA football, Roachy.
Yeah, look, obviously it's a big stage, and I thought they did quite well, especially young Carts. His first game, he didn't look overawed. He was a little bit nervous to start with a few little skill errors, but other than that, mate, he kept Ballantyne goalless. And we know Ballantyne's a very good player. Also gave him a nice little backhand of the chops, which he didn't mean to do, but it actually really hurt him. So he got away with it, and he hurt him. So great result. And I thought he was pretty good, mate.
Cale Morton, the radio podcast extraordinaire. You'd look at his stat sheet and you'd see his two kicks, you go, probably not the Ross Glendinning medalist, but debuting as a sub, pretty tough, mate. Hasn't played a lot of footy in the guts this year. He's been playing off the back half, so let's hope he gets another run for 2013. But Adam Carter, the Aussies would love him in the Ashes team right now. Thank God for West Coast. He shows footy, and this is what he had to say, just his thoughts running out onto the field for the first time.
So as soon as we started getting towards the end of the race, the crowd started getting on their feet, and the roar was amazing. The crowd was just phenomenal. 40,000 people, mainly Eagles supporters on the day, so it's like nothing I've experienced, and it gives you butterflies running out there for the first time, but special moment.
He looked like being the difference on the day. Young key forward Jack Darling had arguably his best game in West Coast colours. Wasn't just his 5-goal haul, Roachy, but his work rate up and down the ground, his ferocity towards the peel inside, attacking 50, really taught Sylvania a lesson, I thought.
Yes, and well done to you, mate. You did pick him as your match winner. We didn't win, but he was our best player. So good effort from yourself. I picked the whole 22 boys, remember last week?
Well played.
We're okay for three quarters.
Yep.
Not bad. Anyway, mate, look, he had 12 touches, kicked 5 goals. He's only 20. Okay, remember when Coxie was 20, he was struggling to run laps at that stage. So just imagine he's going to be an absolute superstar. Don't forget we've got big Josh Kennedy there as well. Okay, so you've got the two big guys. Josh is only 25. So the next 5 years, look at competition.
Broke his 2-kilometre time trial in the pre-season, so his running times are right up there with the midfielders. He was asked whether he might get a go in the guts, later on in his career. This was his response.
Yeah, Wish hasn't really talked about my run. He's just more like getting there and bash a few blokes. That's all he wants me in there for, I think.
It seemed that when Fremantle surged forward, two blokes stood tall to thwart their attacks constantly. Man Mountain's Darren Glass and Eric McKenzie were gelling together very nicely, mate. Combined for 17 marks on the day, 7 contested. They just read the ball so well these days.
Yeah, and look, obviously Easy's learning from Glassy. Glassy been doing it for years. Easy's been doing it for about a year or two now, and he's killing it, mate. We seem to mention him every week.
Yeah.
We do like the big Easy, but he's a great player. And look, he only kept Pav to 3 goals, and they were sort of late goals. They're a bit cheap, so I reckon he had the better of Pav throughout the day.
Junk time. There was another defender who had quite an entertaining afternoon. Will Schofield, in all of the action, I thought he was plucking grabs from all over the park. He was setting up goals, had an absolute monster of a hanger taken on him by Maney. That was nominated for Mark of the Round. You know it. He was just in the action, mate.
No, it was a good grab by Maney. I think he nearly killed poor old Scully as well. But Scully could kick a couple of goals as well, Thumper. And from a backman to kick 2 goals is sensational. One from 50.
Yeah.
And the 50 was on the boundary. Great goal.
What about the other one?
Well, the other one
was that there?
It was with a free kick.
Yeah,
mate. Who knows? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But poor old, that chase was sensational, and he just touched him. Letter of the law, probably a free kick, but theatre of the game umpire let it go. So average to call that one.
Looked like Walters took a bit of a dive, but we wanted to get the word from Will Schofield. This is what he had to say on the radio podcast this week.
I'm a strong man. Strong man, but I honestly barely touched him. Like I was dying. I'd run too far, jumped, barely got him. He's seen the ball missing, so he's jumped on the ground.
Andrew Embley will miss the next 2 games through suspension for copping Clancy Pearce in the 3rd term. Pearce, of Indian descent, of course, had to leave the ground with probable concussion. Sweet multicultural round for him. Disappointing for Wack. It's having a ripper game, I thought.
I was wondering where you're going with that multicultural call, mate, but well done. Yeah, great game from Wack. Unfortunately, he did hit Clancy high there, and a couple of Swan District's teammates they are. So, yeah, it was a little bit stiff, but he played really well. He had 10 touches in the 3rd quarter, kicked a goal. The commentator said he had old legs, and then he bombed it from 50, so pretty silly call, that one.
It was his 2nd suspension of the season, so joining him on the sideline, though, was Matty Pavlich for his high bump on Mitch Brown. That got the crowd going, I thought.
Yeah, it was not a bad hit, that one, but it's good to see that Brownie can play on, but I'm not sure he's 100%.
No, he's definitely not. Did you hear him sing during the week?
I didn't, but let's have a look.
William and Lizzie, good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there.
Magic moment time. Got to lock in Josh Hill. He'll absolutely love this. Great effort to just force a marking contest here in the forward 50. Excellent recovery at ground level. Gives the Freo defender one of the best don't argues of the day. Unselfishly finds Cripps, and he sends up snapping in a brilliant goal instead of blazing away. So, how's this Hutchings handball, by the way? No look, over the back. I love it. Very good, mate. No problem.
Mate, mine's not so magic. It's happened in the 3rd quarter here. 2 defenders just got lost. Didn't know where they were in the ground. Breno and Easy, we've touched on how good Easy was, but on this one, they're like, yours, mine, goal! Idiots, get a hand on it, for Christ's sakes.
Let's have a look at the teams for this commemorative HMAS Sydney 2 game against the Swans. It's the 2nd home game in a row. Love that. Let's hope they can get the 4 points and knock out Port Adelaide, sitting at the bottom end of the 8. Take a look at the teams now. Some big names returning. Remember, it's a squad of 25 with a final announcement coming later this arvo. Luke Shuey back after a couple with a hammy. Shara Wellingham returns after a couple of weeks at Waffle Reserves. Great to see. He lined up on Adam Selwood, who is also coming back from back injury, hasn't played since round 11. Yep. And Blaine, the Train Wilson, looking to play his 3rd game of 2013. Embley, the only out at this stage. There's still no Daniel Kerr. Big surprises there. Was a tackling frenzy against the Dockers. Roachy there. 60 in the first half. Very frenetic. We can expect a very similar game against the Swans. But Mark Lacroix, how are we going to beat him, mate?
I think 4-quarter effort will be the key. I think we've been around the mark with our intensity for patches in games in probably the past month, but coming up against the reigning premiers, I think it's going to take a 4-quarter effort.
Match winner time. I am on a roll. We're going to need a big performance in the midfield. You're taking on Hanbury, Kennedy, Jack, O'Keefe. They're not missing too many stars like we are. No Selwood, Shuey coming back from the hamstring. Let's go with the form midfielder of 2013. Genuine smoky for club champion Chris Marston. He's averaging 28 disposals. Crowley went to him last week. Ross Lyon knows how damaging he can be. He's the 2nd highest club champion rated behind Scooter, needing to rack up plenty of the ball, but in dangerous positions.
Yep. I think not a smoky anymore for that club champ, mate. He's a big chance. But anyway, my match winner is going to come from the midfield too, and it's going to be Matty Prittis. Now, don't forget last week, Hutchings had 16 tackles, and he's beaten Prittis' record. Now, I've heard Prittis not happy about this. Oh, he's going to go for it this week. If he gets 17, he's definitely going to win the game for us. So, yeah, Matty Prittis is my match winner this week.
Letting everyone know that the online Eagle Eye application is available for download. Our magazine, it's gone digital. Unbelievable. It's got pictures, articles, videos. Have a look. It's endorsed by club champions like Andrew Gaff, Chris Marston, and just all other club icons, really. Now, you may think something like this is going to cost you an arm and a leg. You're going to need someone well-funded to get you over the line. It's free, mate. Go and get it, guys. It's free.
Thumper, hang on a sec, mate. Is it going to help us win this week?
Probably not.
Well then, hooroo till next review.